Good morning everyone. How y'all doing today? It has been a few weeks since my last video, and before I show you everything that I have been doing the last few weeks, I just wanted to take a minute and tell you how appreciative and thankful I have been for all of your comments. It's meant a lot to me, and it's made me not feel so quite alone, and I can't thank you enough. I so appreciate it, and being out in the garden the last few weeks has been a tremendous help, and with each passing day I know I'm getting better. So I just wanted to say thank you. I'm holding some ranunculus to show you that I'm still a little behind on a few things. I am going to be putting these in the front garden and the back garden, and I wanted to show you because they're not up yet, but earlier in the season I put several of these in there in the garden, and I think I just did one pack of these because, well, quite frankly, tulips were kind of hard to find in our area, and that's probably because they just don't do super well, but I always try. And actually I have older tulips that are still coming up, and you'll be able to see that as we kind of go along. So what today I want to show you is I went through and pruned quite a bit of stuff. I don't say my name often enough, and I should, but my name is Deanne, and I garden in Zone 9, Fresno, Clovis, California. I think they consider it the Central Valley. And we have pretty mild winters, but very, very hot summers. The kind of summers where they just don't cool down in the evening. But anyway, our last frost date was already a few days ago, so I've pruned quite a bit of stuff, but not everything. And I just wanted to go through both my front and back garden and show you that I've done some cleanup. And actually I haven't had any weeds. I've had mostly grass that I've had to pull. So that's been good. And the grass has come up pretty easy because we've had quite a bit of rain. And I'll put a picture up on the screen right now. We have the next week full of rain. I think they're calling it the Pineapple Express. I don't know, maybe it's gonna be a, what did they call it? Oh, an atmospheric river. That's what they're calling it. Probably it's a Pineapple Express because it's not a cold rain, it's a warm rain. But hopefully we'll still get some snow in the mountains. But I just wanted to show these to you real quick, that I still need to get these in the garden, and I'm kind of excited about it because even though there's a little bit of red, there's a whole lot of pink, and the ones that I planted a few years ago are mostly yellow and orange, and that's okay too, but my pink is my favorite color. So let me set this down and show you what we've done. If you hear a little bit of background noise, I apologize. Someone's doing a little bit of construction down at the end of the street, so hopefully it won't be that bad. But I wanted to show you a little bit of an update here. We thought we had enough stones. We went back to the stone yard and picked up some more ocean pearl flagstone, and I think we need one more. But what I am very excited about is that we finally converted the drip behind the two euonymus, and my husband's almost ready to open up the side gate here and make it into kind of like a hidden fence. But we ran the black poly under the dirt and all along here up towards the front of the flower bed, and I'm still not sure what I want to do here because my main focus is making sure the stones are put in properly and they're secure, and we haven't quite done that yet because I think we still need one more stone. But over here you're going to see a big change as well. In the corner here we connected 1/2 inch drip tubing that has emitters every 12 inches. And let me come around here. My plan is, because the plumbago is gone, and I'll show you in a few minutes where we put that, but I want to put hydrangeas here, and I don't want to say the wrong name because we haven't picked them up yet, but I want to kind of line this area with hydrangeas. Since our Japanese maple has grown so big in our front entryway, this area is shaded almost a good portion of the day, a little bit of morning sun. And so what we will do, and I'll make sure I show you when we plant the hydrangeas, We will also come in and add extra emitters. This part of the yard slopes, and so I just want to make sure they get enough water. This area right here is where we have our society garlic, and I do not cut those back or prune them whatsoever. Kind of like the agapanthus, which is nicknamed Peter Pan. I do not cut those back. And the only thing I do with those is we divide them when they start to get too big. But this area, I've just mostly cleaned all the camphor leaves out that seem to want to pile up inside the society garlic. And then all throughout here, you probably cannot tell, but there's little dots of daffodils and tulips that are beginning to come up. And of course, I cut back the salvia. This area, I probably need to give it a little bit of water, but because it's winter time, we are only allowed to water once a week, and that's on Sundays. So I have to be very diligent about making sure I know when to water. These are our Olivia Rose Austin roses, and I have not pruned them way down because I'm trying to get some growth on them, but I have pruned them significantly. They were probably about up to here. So I've cut them, probably not by half, maybe a quarter. And it's interesting because the one in the front, it's kind of like a graduated height. The one in the front is the shortest, and then they just get taller all the way back. And that might be because this area right here where I have my drip is closer together. So I think what I'm gonna need to do before I lay mulch down is I'm gonna have to run some, connect some drip so this area gets a bit more water. I haven't touched the geraniums. Normally I don't prune those back unless there's a dead portion. I just kind of leave them be. But our red fountain grasses are trimmed. Even though we have pruned back the grasses, I was watching Laura this morning. Don't we all just love Laura and Erin from Garden Answer? And she cuts her grasses like almost to the ground. I have not ever done that before. And I don't know if it's too late, if I should try and do that right now, because they have been pruned back for a little bit. Maybe I might do that next year. But these, after watching Laura, I thought, oh shoot, maybe I should have trimmed these a little bit more. All the African daisies have been pruned back, and I have ranunculus that are coming up, and these I put in maybe 3 seasons ago. I have tulips scattered all over in here, some new tulips that I put in this year. So we'll see how those do. I have Merlot lavender that I haven't pruned back yet. And last year I pruned all of them back, and I actually lost one. So I'm kind of waiting on pruning those just yet. A few weeks ago when I had filmed a video, this area was full of blooms, and that area was all budded up. Now this has, I just wanted to show you that it's blooming, and now I need to come in and kind of prune a little of these back, kind of deadhead them a little bit. When I do that, they bush out even more and get thicker, and these will stay with us until it gets hot, because these don't do well in our area when it gets super warm. And that's when I think I'll put some zinnias in. I'm not sure what kind of zinnias, but I've done vincas, I've done zinnias. What else have I done in the summertime? It's hard to find a good annual that can withstand our heat because we don't cool off at night. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the Snapdragons. This area right here is where we have the 3 red fountain grass, a lot of pink bandana lantana, to which I have not pruned back yet. I haven't even touched our limelight prime hydrangea. But I did cut back all the salvia. You can see they're right behind the dianthus. This is brand new growth I saw underneath all the tall stems. So I cut that back. Now what's interesting about the lantana is in the back, I've pruned all the bandana yellow. And I don't see a whole lot of new growth. underneath here. I'm a bit hesitant to prune them quite yet. Last year when I did it, I lost one, and I don't know if it's because they don't break dormancy until it gets super, super hot. However, the lantana that I'm going to show you in the back, I've already pruned because you can see a ton of new growth on the bottom. Now these are the pink ones. In the back I have yellow. I've moved a lot of grasses and plants. These butterfly bush and iris were not here. Those came from the other side. I moved an agapanthus. This is a lantana that I've already pruned back because I did see growth on it. And I'm happy with, if you pull back, when right in this area right here, we had a miscanthus grass, and then it was completely covering the fountain, to which we need to clean. So don't look at that. But I think these I don't mind having in the back because they kind of frame it, and the Peter Pan will not get so big that it will cover this. And I think this will do much better because it was receiving too much shade. So I'm kind of excited to see that if this can push more growth and bloom a little bit better. These are my sunshine ligustrum, and I like keeping them in a cone. I think I might bring them a little bit shorter just so that you could see behind. But I haven't pruned on these yet either. Just like the boxwoods, I haven't pruned those in the back quite yet. This area right here is where all our Japanese forest grass is. I pruned all that back, and you can kind of start seeing tulips coming up here and there. I planted some near the front, near the sidewalk area. Those haven't come up because those are brand new, but these I planted a few years ago. And then right under here, actually, I don't know, maybe we should, let's come around this way. This is a better shot. Last spring, I bought 3 small foxtail ferns, and I had them in a couple window boxes, and I pulled them out and I kind of dotted them in here. I kind of want to do something a little different this year. I'm not going to put impatiens in. This is the area where I think I want to add some ranunculus. I put tulips in several weeks ago in front of the Peter Pan on that side. This area receives just a touch of morning sun, so I'm thinking of maybe adding some coleus, possibly some begonias, because I've had such great success with them in our back garden. So this is kind of a work in progress, but so far it feels good to have everything cleaned up. Okay, y'all. Here is the Dracaena update that I know a lot of you have been wanting. I'll get to this in just a second, but I wanted to show you the mother plant and where you can see where I've cut off on each branch and how I have new growth on every single cane. I call it a branch, I'm sorry, on every single cane that I cut down. The leaves are yellow because there's one spot that it's been in, and we've been in this house almost 20 years, and I think it's been getting a little bit too much rain, so because we're gonna have a whole week's worth coming up, I'm gonna put it under the patio. But this I'm really excited about because right away it started pushing new growth and has done very, very well. So I'm glad that I did not lose the mother plant. Now this is a different story. I had 4 canes that I stuck in here, and I will say right out of the gate, 3 were doing really, really well. 1 right away didn't make it. And I think, well, not I think, who am I kidding? I overwatered them, and I knew better, but that didn't keep me from thinking, I still need to water them. It's 105. I need to water them. And they just didn't like it. Now I've hung on to this because it's still showing green right here. I guess I could cut this off, but you can tell where it's mushy right here. But this area is really hard. So I probably just need to throw it away. However, and let me preface, I have not watered this in so long. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I watered it, because when I realized, you know, when I was pulling the canes out and they were like this, I knew it was a water issue. So this one has made it. You can see two right here, one's coming up right here, and of course the camera can't see it, but behind this cane, there's one more swollen area where I think one is going to come out right there. So I would say I could have probably been successful with the 3 canes that I put in here had I not overwatered them. And this one actually, because I haven't touched it at all, and you know, this was the original pot that I had replanted them all in, I need to take this out and put it in a smaller pot, because this is just too much for just this one. But again, when I saw new growth, I got it out of the rain, made sure it didn't get any water, and in fact, actually, so if I come down here, see, it's not super wet, but it is moist. So I know that it doesn't need any water, and probably because just we've been cool and not hot. So there's my update. I think I could have made it work had I not overwatered, but here we are, lesson learned. I don't know if I'll ever be cutting any canes anytime soon, because to me this doesn't look like it's overgrown, and I'm happy with the mother plant. But I did want to let you know that one made it. So we'll see how it goes over the course of summertime. All right, let's look at some hydrangeas. These are our Merit Supreme hydrangeas, and we have in front of that begonias, and then in front of that lamium. And you can see right about here I have no more lamium. The reason why the lamium doesn't come all the way around the end here, I think, is because our valves were leaking and we did not know that. We got it fixed. I thought I was almost going to lose these hydrangeas, but you can tell all the new growth coming up at the bottom. So I'm very happy about that. What I wanted to say is I thought the begonias were only going to be an annual. I have put them in baskets before, and they have kind of petered out come winter. This is the first time I've had them in the ground. And when I came to kind of clean this area up, I saw a ton of new growth at the bottom, and they look really good. I'm hoping that they come back bigger, thicker, and more abundant come spring. I will have to go get lamium and kind of finish the curve here, because I really do like that. But I'm glad that this area has done well. You can actually see some new growth coming on these Merit Supreme. It'll be an exciting spring to see how well they're doing. This area right here still needs a little bit more cleanup. I have been moving some plants in this area. You can see probably some Russian sage right here. I have a few of those plants that are buried under the geraniums that I do need to move. And over here is one of the 3 hibiscus that we moved. And I'm not quite ready to cut these back yet. I think I might wait, maybe mid-February before I cut these back. This is our Oklahoma redbud, and you can see all the buds all over it, and it's getting much, much bigger. Let's see, I'm almost 5'9", so it's getting really large, and I'm excited for what this and the Eastern redbud, I didn't show that to you out front, what they do this spring, the color that it will bring. Of course, this is more plumbago back here that I don't touch because I kind of want it to be a screening area. Yes, I have to put this here because Chief will mark the plants, and then he kind of wants to wiggle in and stare at the little dogs next door. So I try and kind of keep this area. There he is. See, he wants to see if they're going to come out. And this is a potato vine that I can already see it's pushing some blooms. So this will probably start blooming within a matter of weeks. Oh, here, there you go. There's one right there. So I love this. This is a plant that my husband actually picked out. This is one that he wanted. This area is where we had a tree, and I will put the name down below because I've already forgotten its name. And we moved the Meyer lemon tree here. Love that it's here. I like that I can walk through. What has happened though, this area now is full of sun. So I had to move all the hydrangeas. Next to the artemisia, all underneath here are several tulips. This probably once the sun starts shining, these calla lilies need to be moved to a shadier area. But I'll do that probably late spring when they go dormant. These are the 3 plumbago that we pulled out over there where I'm going to now put hydrangeas in the front garden. And I thought when I transplanted them that I lost them. And oh, they were not looking good. And in the fall, I didn't want to prune them. I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done? I just lost these 3 good mature plants. So when I came out here a few weeks ago to start trimming a bunch of stuff, I did notice a bunch of growth down below. So I went ahead and pruned them all back. And because this area receives so much more sun now because we lost several limbs in our redwoods, I'm hoping that this puts on much better growth than it did up front and produces more flowers. This is the last area I wanted to show you. We have taken the hedge trimmers and cut this way back. This is purple trailing lantana. In fact, our oldest came out here the other day looking for me, and he said, "Mom, what is all this right here? What happened to the concrete?" And that's how far out the lantana was. This will eventually go away. If it doesn't on its own, I have an upcoming video for you where we're going to be pressure washing several outdoor rugs that they don't look so good because after so much rain and never having any sun, they never dry out, so they're kind of getting a little green, and I'll show you that later. But if when that time comes, this hasn't cleaned up on its own with the rain, I'll have my husband pressure wash this area and it'll clean up. And then these are the other yellow lantana that I have all going all the way down our back garden, and they have, you might not be able to tell. Here's a good example. Let's look at this one. Right down here you see all kinds of new growth. So that's why I went ahead and pruned all the yellow lantana here in the back. These I normally keep next to the bench where I was showing you the Dracaena, and I trimmed all the violas back because they were getting really leggy, and I brought them out here because they weren't getting very much sun over there. These are 3 miniature rose bushes that I put together in one pot, and just wanted to show you all the new growth on that that's coming up. These I believe they're all red because I had some pink ones and some white ones, and I gave those away to my sister-in-law and my mom. Well, that's going to be it for today. I just kind of wanted to show you what I've pruned back in Zone 9 here in Fresno, California. Our last frost date is January, I think 28 or 29, which of course that's already been passed. And I will be doing a little bit more pruning, but I did want to show you that I did get most of the grass up and picked up most of the leaves from when you saw it a few weeks ago. So come back soon, and I think we're going to show you what the finished pathway looks like, the stone pathway, and there'll be some new hydrangeas over there up in the front. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.